Hi submarine friends. Well, today's project is exhaust system. Well, I'm starting anyways. So the heat exchanger project is on hold for another hour. I can't make any noise until it's a reasonable hour outside. And I've got about half an hour of work to finish it. So I'm going to remove the muffler and I'm going to get started on the exhaust system. So the exhaust is going to exit right here in the center of the conning tower, and I want it just behind the conning tower so I can reach outside and close the valve to seal it off from the water, obviously. So I'm going to stick with a dry exhaust system. I'm going to take some advice that I got from somebody on a YouTube comment, which was don't risk the safety of the engine and don't lower the temperature of the exhaust because of condensation. Something I didn't consider. So, I know how to build submarines, but this is all new to me, so I'm glad to get this input from people. So this is my exhaust pipe. It's actually a trampoline leg. I have a few of these. It's nice, heavy material, nothing wrong with it, and I love, love, love recycling stuff. So this will simply bolt onto the engine in this location. I'm going to make my own flanges. They're just a flat flange that bolts onto the exhaust manifold. And I have to cut this pipe off anyways to put the flexible coupler in. That should be here today or tomorrow from Amazon. And once I weld this flange on and cut this off, I actually put it in the lathe and I machine it true so that when I bolt it to the manifold, there's no chance of a exhaust leak. Same with the, so there's a connection here for the flexible coupler, then there's a connection here, and so I'm just going to do bolt together connections that are machined so they're a perfect fit, and then out the top she'll go. And again, dry exhaust. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap this pipe with a special insulation material made for header pipes. Apparently it works really good. I've never tried it, I've never worked with it, don't know anything about it. So if somebody knows about it, send a message, leave a comment. The more I know, the better. So that's the plan. I'm just going to wrap this with insulation, and I'm pretty sure that my water cooling system using lake water, I'm going to put a radiator right here with the mechanical fan on it, blowing air into the engine compartment through a radiator full of cold lake water. So the lake water comes into the sub to the pump, and from the pump it goes through the radiator first, and then from the radiator it goes to the heat exchanger. I can afford to warm up that water a little bit with this radiator cooler here because the heat exchanger is so efficient and our lakes are always so cold, it won't hurt to warm that water up a little bit. As for the temperature in here, quite often I'm freezing in a submarine. I'm so worried about keeping it really cool in here, but the reality is these things are cold in Canada. And I don't dive the submarine in July and August because the visibility is so poor anyways, and there's just so much boat traffic and people around. It's better to dive in the spring and fall. But with this submarine, I can dive all winter in the lakes that don't freeze. Like Cooney Lake, I can spend the whole winter in that lake. So obviously heat is going to be important. So I may be taking the insulation off of this to get heat out of here. So anyways, that's the project. Ciao.